Hey creative friends, Melissa here with the Creative Season YouTube channel, and I'm jumping in to wish you a very happy September. It is going to be triple digits where I am today in Northern California. However, I am all about fall once the calendar changes to September. Even though we don't have too much fall and it's really not going to hit seasonally wise for another couple of weeks, I am all about pulling out the fall things. I've got a bunch of fall projects, watercolor projects, other projects, and a fun new vlog that's coming your way very soon. But I had this project from a couple of years ago when I was going through my fall things. This is a really fun autumn collage. I realized I had a whole tutorial that I had never shared before. And so I wanted to pull that out today and share it with you. You're gonna just need a couple of things. You need gesso. You're gonna want to have a canvas. It's not a real thick one. Also, if you are a painter or if you have like the bad canvases, or you're just like, I just don't know what I'm gonna do with all these, grab one and then we're gonna just cover it with images, with pictures. If you have been painting along with doing sunflowers, these are gonna be perfect for an autumn collage. If you have raffia, I think I'm saying that right, grab that. Grab a glue gun or gesso, and I talk about both in the video. And let's have fun. I love to play in the fall. I like to bring as much fall in as possible. There's so much going on in the world right now that's really distressing and disheartening and discouraging. And sometimes I think those of us who are creative, we get a little bit embarrassed about like, why are you doing all this creative stuff when so many hard things are going on? But I think that this is even the more important time to be sharing our creative gifts. You need to be making sure that you're taking care of your own heart, right? And sometimes for me, just doing a little bit of creativity helps to fill me up so that I can go out and serve other people and do what I do well and with energy. Doing a lot of praying right now. And, I also realize that if you have read John Eldredge's book, Get Your Life Back, he talks about the importance of beauty. And it's a great chapter on the importance of beauty, of watching beauty, of engaging in beauty, of creating beauty. And so I hope this just encourages you. If you're feeling discouraged, pick up a canvas, pick up some magazine pictures, your autumn paper, scrapbook paper, and create something. I so understand when doing a big watercolor project or looking at a blank piece of paper can seem super intimidating, but there's something about a collage. It's easy on the brain and it's very re-energizing. So I encourage you to try this collage this week. Yours is gonna look completely different. That's the fun of it. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm gonna show you the change I'm making on this so I can incorporate it into my fall decor that I'm going to be putting up soon. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I will be back really soon with another vlog and another Paint With Me watercolor tutorial. All right, you guys, have a fantastic first week of September. Good morning, you guys, or happy fall. It might be morning, it may be evening, afternoon, whenever you are doing, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome to our autumn inspiration board class. This is really, I'm excited about this. I've been thinking about this all week. I want to go over a few supplies and then I'll start talking as we go. I had said that most of the things you have are probably in your house. And so I've been on the road this week for my day job. And literally got home last night, was just pulling things, which really hopefully puts me in the same space as you are. I will say though, I knew I had gesso, but it's a little thick this morning, so I actually have a glue gun on backup. I don't usually use a glue gun. I think we're gonna be fine, but I've got gesso here. I have, which is gonna be what I'm using to put everything down on the collage inspiration board. I have Mod Podge, which is gonna be great. That's gonna go on more towards the end when I wanna put my final touches to show really well. And then I just have a variety of all sorts of things. I have bits of kind of art. I have things. I really love this. I pulled this out of a magazine, one of the Where Women Create magazines, I believe. I have all sorts. I've got paper clips and words and autumn and pieces of scrapbook paper. So we're just really, this is a very free-flowing project. I've got all sorts of stuff. So really my goal is to encourage you when you're making these inspiration boards or these collage boards for the season. This particular one is very free-flowing. It's simply, my theme is fall, and the things that are kind of resonating with me and the colors. This had been an old the canvas that I hadn't finished. I put some blue on it earlier this morning. It's a mess. In fact, this is really great if you have canvases that you started or you just want to paint over. You can, very easy to do that. Also, I've also done the same thing with a smaller one. You can do that. We're not going to do it today, I don't think, but I also put some gesso down on a book cover for a journal. So you can put collages straight on a journal or a book you're going to use for a journal. And that's actually a lot of fun. We'll do that another day, I think. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with gesso. Get some hair out of there. I'm going to go ahead and start laying down. I'm going to go fast because I'm not going to think as much as I might with other collage projects today. This is one when I know I have been, the autumn, there's just something about it where it is really, I love it, but isn't there an energy to it? Everyone's back in school, and even if you don't have kids of school age, there's stuff with work. We're going into fourth quarter. There's stuff in volunteers or at church. Activities, so many good things this time of year, and sometimes getting a lot of more contemplative time like we might find in the winter is not happening so much. So okay, I love the scrap paper. It's so fun and cute. I'm going to put it down here in the corner. Now, the scrapbook paper is a little bit thicker, so I need to make sure that I have enough gesso on here that it's going to stick. And I'm going to have to, I'm going to gesso it on. And I know it sounds like a verb, but I use gesso as a verb, and so I'm going to put it down here. You're going to find that no matter what your canvas looks like, I just like to have a couple colors on my canvas. It's going to be so colored up. It doesn't matter how messy it is, so don't worry about that. You can see the gesso creates a white over everything, almost like a snow effect. So it can be, you can put quite a few layers down and just kind of layer, layer, layer. In fact, I really like that one. Let me grab some more of that paper. The nice thing with some of the scrapbook pieces of paper is that they are color faded. So you can grab multiple papers you can grab one pack of paper. Let's put some over here. Rub that down there and use several pages and you'll get that cohesive color theme. So I don't typically put entire pages of paper on my collages. I'm putting some. I'm going to scrape off this because I want it to stick, but I really love that. It's pumpkins and pie and coffee. Oh my, these are the wonderful things fall is made of, and sweaters. And I just was thinking about fall. I was thinking about the things I love, the people I love to be with in fall, my family, friends, going up to Apple Hill, which is a local place here in Northern California. Okay, so we've got that down. Now, what else do I want? As you can see, once again, the gesso, it really can cover things up. I think what I want to do now is I'm gonna have another piece of scrapbook paper just to kind of throw in, and I'm gonna grab one now with some color. Don't be afraid to go bold either. I'm gonna put this one more in the middle. Fall greetings. Grab some more gesso, and it's gonna cover up. That's okay. Your fingers are gonna get messy. That's okay too. Okay. I love that. Okay, because again, it's kind of throwing in a bit of color. With the Mod Podge, because it is a clear, it's a water sealer glue and finish, you're going to get more of the clear. So when you put the Mod Podge down, that's going to go on with those items that we really want to pop off. And that's why I really like creating the layers with my scrapbook paper and putting some on so we get some layers. You know, no one else is going to know a lot of times what you're putting on underneath, but you will. So I have some raffia here, and I'm going to, I'm going to put it on just over here. I'll probably put some more on at the end, but I'm going to just gesso some of it on. So if you want to create just with paper, that's fine. I like sometimes putting a little bit of 3D on mine as well, and I gesso just part of it on. That way the rest of it I know will kind of stick off to the side, and we'll let it just kind of fall off to the side here. And I may add some more, an embellishment up at the top later. I have a flower. I think that's really a cute fall color flower. So we'll let that go off onto the side. All right, what else am I going to put on here? I have a couple of, oh, that's so cute. Once Upon an Autumn Day. I love that. I'm not sure if I want to use that quite yet. All right, but I do like this. You'll see too, I'll move this just a little bit closer. You see where things start to buckle? Right down here. So if you see that buckling where it's popping up, there wasn't quite just enough gesso on the bottom. That's okay, just smooth it out. And what I'll do is, I'm not going to peel it up because I don't want to lift that. It's already a couple things layered on. And you can even put your finger right there, just hold it there for a minute. That's fine. I've been playing with fall colors, and you know, I just hate to waste things. Even things like that when I'm playing with color, because we put paint on paper, and I know I was playing with some colors earlier, and I thought, what can I do with this? And so you know what, maybe we'll even put that down here. And I've got some raffia in my gesso, but that's no problem. Sometimes when you come to a project like a collage, you know, and without a lot of forethought, like I've been looking forward to creating this all week as I was traveling, but wasn't quite sure, since I wasn't home, what exactly I was going to be using. And sometimes coming to a project like this and stepping into it and just going and playing and seeing what happens is just a lot of fun. So I'm kind of rubbing that gesso, and you notice on watercolor, I wanted to show you this, it will merge a little bit. It kind of tears up is what I call it. The watercolor cries on the gesso, but it's just spreading around, and that's fine. You could always take this too and scrape off bits of gesso to show up things underneath, which can create a really neat effect. If you have like that paper, you can grab a palette knife too, and you can just take your palette knife and take off some of that extra gesso, depending on how fast we're working to clean it, to catch it. And you can do some markings over here. You can smooth down the gesso on the side. Oops, I'm sorry, I just knocked that, didn't I? All right, so we've got that going on there. And I'm using a Starbucks gift card that was used. So these are really handy. If you have hotel key cards that, you know, that you just ended up keeping or whatnot, use those. Are fantastic. Old credit cards that have expired are fantastic. Okay, I think I want to put on a little, okay, I put on this gal. I had just done some fun sketching. She's just really cute. While I did bring my watercolors, I was at a work event. You know what? I am just going to put her on in the corner. I'm going to see if, though, I can stick her on. Just a cute girl. She's going to get faded out a bit, but that's okay. I was just having fun with colors and pumpkin. I'll probably do another one of her. Holding pumpkins. Okay, I'm going to put this here. Just a little bit more gesso. So what I do is I kind of add enough layers where I feel like, okay, fantastic. I've really created some texture. For me, as you can see, I've got more of a traditional palette for fall this time, except I pulled in that nice, that almost turquoise teal blue as some background colors, and then pulled in the crimson and the oranges. And so I'm really enjoying those colors right now. I have layers which I really, really like. I think too, I would like to create a little bit more of a pop. And what I can do too is, again, add in some colors that we were using. But I'm not going to cover up so much with gesso. So on this one, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Maybe, do I want it to go? Yeah, why not? So I'm kind of using the bottom of the gesso, but I'm not going to put so much on top. Gesso's pretty strong, so you'll find, I just need a little bit more on top, that it does really well with scrapbook paper, with watercolor paper, with adhering it. And so what I'm going to do with this one, instead of spreading it, I'm just going to wear down the edges. Let me move the camera so you can see that a bit better. See how I'm getting the edges, but I kind of want that to pop because I really love the coffee and all of that good stuff. Okay, you'll notice up higher, right here, I've got a little bit of buckling down in here. So what I'm going to do is, you know what, I'm actually going to cheat, and I'm going to use a bit of glue gun. I'm going to step around the camera without knocking it down. See if my glue gun is hot. And so sometimes I'm not a purist. I really just believe in using what you have. And okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue gun down there. And I'm going to come back, oops, and try not to burn my fingers. Right like that. And I'm going to burn my fingers a little bit as I kind of smooth that out. Okay, so hopefully you're beginning to see this start to come together. Again, it's a mess. It's still a mess. I'm going to go through this fast. You can certainly let things dry between layers. Sometimes I do. For today's class, I want you to kind of want to see it pop. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add some Mod Podge. I think we're going to be okay if I keep on going. We back this out or move it back just a little bit. So what I have over here too, excuse me, my hand there, is I have several items that I have cut out, pictures. I love this fall. What I can do too is I might put this, sometimes if I don't want all the words, right, so I want the new twist on fall, but I don't necessarily need like the spooky. It was I think in Better Homes and Garden, I don't want all the extra stuff. So what I'll do is I'll kind of hide it a bit. We'll put a little bit of gesso down, just a little bit. I don't need too, with paper you'll find a little gesso goes a long way. Put a little bit of gesso just so it sticks, and then I'll take my gesso and just kind of put the color on a little bit. Put a little bit of gesso over it. Sometimes it glosses over them. There we go. Like usually this works. So the gesso, it almost is like white out. So if you have words that you cut out of a magazine, but you didn't want all of them, I just wanted the fall, I didn't want everything else. You can just, you can't even see what it says there now. All right. Okay, this is fun. Okay, so what I really loved is that I really love this one, Gather Here with Grateful Hearts. That was just really precious to me. I wanted that to stand out a little bit more. So I'm gonna put gesso on the back, not on the top. And I'm just gonna, you can use it, and you can see the fingers get messy. There's kind of a hard way to, not a great way to get around it. You'll also see here, I'm now going to start, do you see how I kind of kept about a 1-inch border around here? I'm going to break that border now. I think this is really pretty when we've created a border and then we break it a little bit. It creates just that imperfect eye-catching pop. So don't go, when you put your first layer of items down, don't go all the way out. Create a border, and then when you want the things to pop, you are kind of sticking them in the corners. Really fun. Okay, there's another one that I love. There's a couple of them. Again, this isn't, I am made for autumn. It's just such my favorite season. This is kind of where I go to and go, okay, so I may just set things down at this point. This is a dark one, so I want to put it on a lighter area so it pops, versus this darker area down here would probably look really fun with, for example, if I did put down this picture of a wreath right here, if I wanted that to go down there, if I wanted to, this is where I really start layering maybe some of my pictures of pies, and I love to bake. It's just so much fun in the fall. It's cold, it warms up the kitchen. Okay, and I'll just kind of play around here. So I'm playing here with some fall flowers, but maybe those don't quite go. Hello Fall, I might put that up here, but this is fun. This is really fun. I love the word joy. I wasn't sure about the colors because there's a purple background, but we might stick it in even underneath just to get the feeling of joy. Don't worrying, I'm really working on not worrying, because it doesn't do us any good anyways, right? But trusting God, praying more, this is, autumn is such a good time to remember all the things to be thankful for, right? There's just something about that, returning to not only just the holiday of Thanksgiving, but the season of autumn and just the abundance of life. So many sweet gifts. So a couple of other things that I was pulling out today and cutting. So what, again, I might just start pulling on that. I'll kind of do things like this. And then I'll play around with what I want to do. Let's see. So we're about 16 minutes in. And as you can see, I'm really moving through what the things that I'm really thinking about is identifying. And again, as we are quickly going through this collage, what do I want to be the forefront? Because after I get everything down, what I'll do is I'll come back with something that may kind of pop on top. And I had this quote. It says, there's nothing, I'm sorry, you can't say it great. There is something incredibly nostalgic and significant about the annual cascade of autumn leaves. And isn't that the truth? I just find that it turns my memory back on. So I like that one, but I really like this one. So I might want this to be kind of like right front and center as kind of my theme words once I get everything else on. You can see too how when you have a few things, you're not quite sure if it's going to go, but if you start adding more, you start to see a fullness. This was a beautiful picture of fall. I'm not quite sure if it's going to go on here. I may end up putting it on the other one or on a book. And so again, quickly just moving through what I have here. I have some leaves that I had created. I had several autumn pictures and paint that I had gone through, and not really even marking any out especially for this, but you know, don't hesitate to use old art or, you know, things you're like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with this. Well, maybe you can use them for your current projects. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start laying some of this down. I love this quote and I really do want to have it, but I'm not sure if it's for here. I have a pumpkin here. I'm not quite sure. That one looks a little bit big. This might end up, I'm going to grab my scissors and cut this guy. And maybe we'll do this. Okay. Put that here. A little fall. Okay, let's grab that hodgepodge. I'm going to pour it out. Now with hodgepodge, it's a good idea to use, you can use a brush, but you may not be able to use that brush for anything else ever again. So either use an inexpensive brush, which I'll sometimes do, or have a brush that you just dedicate to hodgepodge. Wash it really well in hot water. Okay, so let's start putting some of this down. The other thing with collages is other people don't know what's gone underneath, but we do. And I think that's the beauty of creating. Sometimes when I'm sitting, standing, creating, listening to a podcast, letting my mind wander or praying and just kind of letting things just move. Just let them move, especially in the early morning. There's so much that's going on in life. Sometimes I find when I'm occupying my fingers and playing with color and kind of indulging in the season of fall, there's just a quiet that comes, a stillness, a little bit of respite, and really we all lead very full lives, right? Okay, so I put some gesso down on the watercolor paper. And we're covering that guy up a little bit, but that's okay. Put my don't worry up here. I really like how the raffia paper is going to look. And just laying these things down. I always say you really can't mess these up. If you cut to the end and you don't like it, walk away for a day or two and you may come back and like it, or come back and add some more. The nice thing too is, for example, when I cut up the art, like with the leaves, and you find that it just doesn't feel coherent for whatever reason, that's why I use really colors. Try to use similar colors so that it creates that sense of cohesiveness. Okay, the eye I just love the eye was made for autumn. It really is I love all the seasons for so many reasons, but I really love autumn. And I'm quickly, and as you can see with the Mod Podge, it is it dries clear. So the gesso will dry opaque with that white finish on it, but not the Mod Podge. It does dry clear. All right, I'm going to put down another leaf, and I am going to use the gesso because that just works better, but I don't want it to bleed so much. And I am going to actually put it over. I'm actually going to put over the don't worry, because I know that don't worry's there. I know that's that. I'm going to kind of put that right here. Let that raffia go over it. Put it around the side a little bit. Put a little bit. Okay. Sometimes it gets going a little crazy as I continue on here. I'm going to pour a little bit of Mod Podge into my, I'm using the top of the gesso container for my Mod Podge because I know I'm going to be tossing this out. I'm using the end of it, using a paper plate or a plastic bottle. I'll save my old yogurt containers and use those, and the lids. Those are very handy for my paintbrushes or all sorts of things. Try putting things in different directions, so instead of just, I have this guy kind of in more of a diagonal shape. And this is just our very fun, inspirational collage, right? There's not a lot of planning. I'm letting things kind of go a little bit to my border here, making sure you can see this. I'll kind of come in a little bit closer. That is just a beautiful picture. Let me be perfectly clear. My kitchen is like, whenever I'm baking, it's like a disaster. It's like a tornado came through. My mom's good at cleaning up after herself, but I tend to clean up at the end. I try to be better about that. All right, and then I have this joy. The colors aren't matching, but you know what? I really want it on there because I have just been in a season where this theme of joy, that calm delight, despite circumstances, has really been on my mind. Okay, so I've got this. Now, we've got a lot going on here, right? Okay, and this guy's popping up again on the side. So once again, I am gonna come over here, grab my glue gun, and just put a pop. And I'll put some final pictures in the class on the page. If I wanted to add a little bit of watercolor, like a wash, I need to just wait for it to dry. So if I do end up doing that, sometimes I'll do that. I'll show that on the page. Okay, we're about 24 minutes now. So here we are. I think we're going to finish this main project in less than 30 minutes, which I know I'm moving quickly, but my goal really was to show you how you could do this in less than an hour, because it does take some time if you're wanting to cut out some words. Sometimes I'll switch. I'll do the prep for collage at a different time, and so I split it up. I do the cutting out my words, finding my pictures, gathering my supplies, and then getting everything ready. Sometimes that organizing your stuff can really be quite therapeutic too. I mean, when I use the word therapeutic, it just means calming. Is what I mean by it. Just fun to anticipate. Okay, so I do want some pop here, because now, if I put this is to right on top of here. That looks nice, but I feel like I need a little bit more of contrasting color. Like even that. That might work. And where's my other pink? I almost feel like I need to put these guys down here too. I think I'm going to do that. At least for the leaves, I'm going to definitely do that. Put these leaves down here. Right here. The other thing that I'm thinking, oops, I got some gesso on there, that's okay, is I don't have to. I could, well, I do. I could put this down here, and I could put it at an angle. I know. This is usually, I find it most challenging at the end as you're finishing and you're thinking to yourself, how do I want to finish up? Now again, we can always come back and add more. So always know you can come back and add more. I'm going to put some words right over here. I found this in, I think it was the magazine Celebrating Fall Makes You Happy. Isn't that the truth? There is something that's just very joyful about fall. Okay, I have included a lot of words today on this one. I don't always include that many words. This morning, that just kind of popped. Maybe I'm just feeling very wordy, or there's just so many wonderful words to celebrate autumn. All right, a little bit of gesso on the back of this paper. I'm going to put this guy here. I'm going to wipe off some of that gesso around the corners because I love that. Early sunsets, warm tea, big sweaters. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to cover it up with some of the Mod Podge so I don't lose the beautiful wording. And it does get messy. The gesso and Mod Podge start to blend. So, okay, this is really cute and fun and very, very free. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to come back in here. I've got a flower a dear friend sent to me and a sweet snail mail package. And I'm going to put some gesso and put that fall flower and that lovely fall color right there. Now, I still have that last word to put. I think I'm still going to put it on. Maybe I'm not, though. Maybe it looks good. I think I do. I think I want to put it here. Actually, maybe here. Maybe right here. Okay. And then we'll finish up. I'll let it completely dry. I might come back in and add some embellishments. I'll put the pictures up on the website. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's inspired you to go out and make a collage this weekend. You have probably, if you have some magazines and, you know, cut out pictures of pumpkins, cut out some words. It doesn't take a lot. You might need to get some gesso or some Mod Podge. You know, you don't have to go to a craft store though. Walmart has, I've bought Mod Podge at Walmart, and I want to say I bought gesso, but maybe not. But for sure, Mod Podge. So don't let the lack of supplies stop you. The really fun thing about collages is it's the art project I can do when I don't have to be super particular. It's not a painting project. It's gonna be gorgeous no matter what. And this is, right? This is just, it is my kind of beautiful. I know the sun's really starting to stream in. I'll put more pictures on the website. This is cute. I think you'll find too when it dries really nicely. And then you can go back in and do a little bit of detail work if you so desire. So if you so desire. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to see you for another art project really soon. Bye, you guys. Okay, hey everyone, I just wanted to show you a few things that I changed up for our collage this year in 2021. So thank you so much for sticking to the end of the video. So I wanted to really hang this collage this year. In the past, I've just leaned it up. So I just had this beautiful gold, it's not quite ribbon, but it's really pretty. And I was going to use raffia to hang it up, but I thought, you know what, that's not going to be strong enough. And I had this orange, not quite ribbon, but not twine, but it was pretty strong. But you know, it just wasn't quite like the colors, right? Not quite singing. I had a purple one, but the purple didn't quite seem to be going together. Where did that go? Right here. And so I wasn't quite sure about the purple, but the gold seems to really highlight off the gold in the collage. So I did is I doubled it up. I had just enough to kind of double it up here, as you can see. And then on the back, I glue gunned it and then I stapled it because I felt the glue gun did a good job, but I wasn't quite confident. So I put a couple of staples in there. And this is a pretty light collage. We don't have anything too heavy on it. It's not a really thick collage board either. So that was one way. I'm probably gonna hang this up on my front door or maybe on the back door, and I'll include a picture of that. The other thing was, I know I had done some gold on here, but I wanted to add a little bit more gold. And I fallen in love with, I have a bronze and a gold Sharpie. that are really fun. I also have a couple of gold paint pens, and I found that on the gesso when I was playing with them. The Sharpie I think worked out a little bit better, but as you can see, I was even just adding some gold highlight even on the leaves. And I love gold markers because, especially with that iridescent gold in it, because really, even if I'm kind of going like around, it helps to highlight the item, or if I'm adding even just, this is more the bronzy one, it doesn't look like crazy in your face, right? It actually just works to accent everything and to make it just, I think, merge together really, really nicely. So even if you wanted to do some like dots or markings, or even create like this, just a little bit more of detail if you want to play. You can even add, highlight some of the letters, for example. I think just adds another bit of gold, of that fallish harvest autumn richness and bounty that we love. So I've just loved creating this collage with you, and I'm excited to come and do some more painting and creating with fall things really, really soon. Okay, you guys, I'm going to see you next time.